that the module is loaded, and then after this module is loaded, the module 1 message I printed, as you can see here, and then I access that address and print it here. So what I have now in the memory is the server with all of the stuff is here. Now, sometimes as a software engineer, and that's what I said from the beginning, you need to maintain that on sometimes real time. So let's say you came here and you update this, update this file, and you want to reload it. So for example, if you import it another time, let's say now, if I clear this, pay attention here. This is the first import. This is the second import. As you can see, it will run the code just once. There it is, okay? So the next import will invoke that module and load its all symbols to that user's table, but it will not execute the execution statement that you have put here. And to do that, you need to import what we call, okay, import lib, and to reload it again. So this is the indentation. Okay. Now if I clear that,
all right,
and run. Okay, let's say that you want to maintain something here, okay, and you did something here, and then you want to init all the things, all of them. So you can start run this, and as you can see here, the code is run twice. So this is a starting connection, then you do some stuff, and then you start another time the connection, okay? So this is handy enough. So you can control over this. So this is a simple code, but in future sessions, in advanced sessions that I am planning to invite you more, there will be a talk about what we can do here more, especially in Django. We will see that more, in particular backend development, and it's very handy. So as you can see, don't forget this. I have write this here. So we will start reloading this module, okay? When we reload it, so we execute the statement here, and then if you want to define another thing and output another thing, so we can reload it again, as you can see. So this is the demo with the reloading, okay? Okay, next item. Now, what I can use if I came back to this table, so what I can do with module, I know that when I import a module, okay, I import everything within that module, and executable statement that I write down in some places, they will be executed just one time. And if I want to reload them, there is a possibility. So this is flexible enough. You don't need anything else. This is enough, okay, for to work with one module. Now, when things become more complicated, you have 2, 3 modules. Let's see what we can do. So when you have, okay, more modules, so you want to organize your code. This is a design. You want to organize your code, okay, in such a way that, let's say, technically we have here the main package, and we have module 1 and module 2, okay? This is module 1. We have the range that we have seen before with its values and external function. This is module 2. Let me maybe I paste something wrong. So let me come here, Control A, Control V, and this is the second module, okay? Now, what I can do with this main package, yeah? This is the main package. So let me close here so I have the main package, and I have module 1 Pi, module 2 Y, and coming soon we will talk about init Pi. So let's say in action, main package in action. This is the file that I also copy and paste in the Word document. So let's say, how can I use and import? Please look here. I can say from. This is the way. There will be no conflict here. From main package, this is the main package. You need to be at the same level. This is the main package. Dot module 1. This is module 1. Import range. So you got it. From main package, module 1, import shift range. So you got it. And let me say something here. So you have the range and you have the shift range. Now the naming of module 1 is, I choose it to be a simple, so that it will be a simple to demonstrate. Now in, okay, in actual projects, in pragmatic projects, you need to think what you can call it. So if you call it range, it's okay. We'll still okay, yeah. But you can call it range utility or any name that still sounds good. So as I use range here, so I can use it directly. So I can use, okay, clear. Let me clear that. So I can define an object of type range and print range, and I can even, okay, call the second method. So now if I run the code, as you can see now, the code is running and performing very handy things, okay? Now, as you can see, okay, this is a main package initialization code. I didn't print it here, yeah? Is it right? This, the final two outputs belongs to the range and to the shift range, to the two prints, but this not. As you can see, sometimes if you, okay, want, when you are importing package, please listen to this simple option. You want to import a package, okay? If you want to import a package that has a lot of modules, and for any simple scenario, technical scenario, there is not a huge design here. Mostly is a technical thing. You want to initialize any values. So who is asking me this question? It's a good question, yeah? Who asked me this question? So as you can see here, yeah, Liv, yeah, this is a good question, Liv. So as you can see here, Liv, I put here a file called exactly underscore init underscore of type Python, yeah, as you can see, and I have written here this print as a simple demonstration of initialization. Now, when I run it, okay, as you can see here, it will, this is the main, as you can see here, okay, sorry, I do not run this. I run, sorry, I did a mistake, yeah, here. Now, when I use there is a file, Python file here, that is going to use our package and modules. So these files access the range and access the shift range, imported them to the user table samples, and initialize